All right. Anyway, I'll figure that out later on. Welcome to the video. So, if you're currently in a serious relationship or you're married and you are not getting the sex that you want, so pretty much you're in a sexless relationship, a sexless marriage, this video is for you, and I'm going to break down the reason why your woman or your wife doesn't give you sex and what to do about it. Now, the first thing is you may be the type of man that you got sex all the time. When you first started dating, you were having sex like rabbits. You were doing it everywhere, in the car, on the road, hotels, her house, your house, everywhere. It was no problem. You guys always had sex. It was amazing, right? She always went down on you. All this stuff that you wanted when it came to having sex with a woman. You always got that stuff. But you notice that once you got married, she no longer wanted to do anything with you. She saved herself, and when it came to pleasing you, she didn't want to do those things because she just got tired of you. That's what you think. That's what you may feel, that she just got tired of you. She's not attracted to you. She's not interested anymore. All those things. Sexless marriage is just, it's a crazy thing. But I want to tell you that when it comes to a relationship or a marriage that's sexless, the biggest reason why a lot of women don't give you sex is because, one, I want you to listen to this very closely. One reason is because that now that she has you, she feels that she no longer needs to give you sex. She doesn't feel like that is something that is a requirement in the relationship or the marriage, because when you first started dating, she felt like that was the time that sex was important. Now that she got you, now that you're married, now that you're each other, like, well, what's the point? I already committed to him, he committed to me. There's no point of giving him sex, and that's what she's thinking. That's what a lot of women have been trained to think, is that once the dating is over with and you're married or you're in a serious relationship, now sex is not important to a man. But it is. I mean, obviously, if you're a man watching this, it is important to us. Now, I'll go a little bit further into the reason why I say it is important, and I'll talk about why it shouldn't be important, and how to really navigate around that. I'll just go deep into that. But first, I want to talk about, really, it's, you know, what she's been raised to believe. Some women have been raised to believe, like, okay, have sex with him, do everything you got to do before you get into a relationship and you get married, because once you get married, you already got the golden ticket. You already got the Willy Wonka golden ticket, right? Now, it's sad because a lot of women that were raised a certain way, or other women were telling them this, a lot of those women are not in happy relationships. They're not in happy marriages. And the other thing is, a lot of those women, they may have been with men that don't know how to please them sexually. So in their mind, they're like, okay, a man doesn't know how to please me sexually. So when a woman gets into a marriage, then the sex should just stop, because he's not going to know how to please me anyway. So they spew that type of information to other women, and they don't realize that that's a detriment, because not all women are the same when it comes to sex. But I will say that if a woman enjoys sex, she will not deny you of sex. That's very important that you understand, because some men don't get that. I mean, if you go to an adult store or a sex store, how many different toys and dildos and vibrators and things do they have for women? Why do they have those things? Obviously because of pleasure. Women love sex. Is just, if it's with the right man, number one, but number two, if they actually take care of them sexually. The other thing I will say is that when it comes to a marriage, sometimes you have to understand this. This is more for my older guys. My younger guys, you may not get it, but some of my older guys, you have to understand that when you do get married, and now the honeymoon phase is out the way. Now she's serious in her career or her school or whatever it is. You have kids, whatever it is. Sometimes you have to understand that the sexiness fades away. Now, let me explain what I'm trying to say about that. What I'm trying to say about that is even if you are giving her orgasms, even though she enjoys it, one thing you have to understand is sometimes for the woman, she may want to do those things, but she may actually be tired because she has work, she got chores, things to do around the house, cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kid. And the thing you have to understand is a woman will enjoy sex and she will be more into doing it if she's relaxed. So understand what I'm saying. A woman could say, hey, look, I enjoy having sex. However, I'm tired or I'm just not in the mood, but they're not in the mood because they're not relaxed. They don't feel, how can I put this? They don't feel necessarily like they are wanted. So what I mean by that is a guy may be able to, like I said before, give a woman an orgasm, take care of her, whatever. But it's the initial step. It's the foreplay. It's the things before you actually start to have sex. So before you're married, before there was kids, work, all this other stuff, you didn't have those different obligations before you started having sex. You're just like, hey, I get off work, hey, let's have sex. You just, it is what it is. You just do what you do. But as you get older and there's responsibilities and there's obligations, now it's like for a woman, you have to make sure that you take care of her when it comes to the foreplay and the sensual things, because when you do that, that tells her mind and body, okay, we're not at work anymore. The kids are asleep or the house is done with. Now I can just relax. And the best way to help her relax is a bubble bath, a massage. Just doing things slow, because when you do things slow and you relax her, guess what? That lowers her defenses. It's no longer fight or flight or I got to get shit done and I'm in super mom, super wife mode, whatever it is. Now it's just like, oh, I can relax and actually enjoy my time. And for my guys out there, that's very important that you take care of your woman in that sense. As long as she's respecting you, obviously, you're not just going to kiss her ass, put the pussy on a pedestal, sex on a pedestal, but you want to make sure that you make her feel that she's wanted and also make sure she's relaxed. Because now when she's relaxed, now she feels like, okay, when we have sex, I feel relaxed because what you're doing is you're giving her foreplay. Maybe, like I said, you're bubble bath, rubbing on her, massaging her, licking her, different things to really turn her on and get her in the mood. And when you do that, in her mind, what'll happen subconsciously, she'll always remember that, well, after work or after spending time with the kids, I don't mind having sex with my husband because he always makes me feel in the mood to have sex in the first place. So that's something you want to understand. Now, the other thing I will say is some women, they use sex as a tool. They use it as a weapon because, well, the first thing, before I go into that, the first thing I'll say is that when it comes to a woman not wanting to have sex, and this happens a lot, some men don't really understand it. Some women don't pick up on it. And I kind of blame both people, because some women, they have, they had sexual abuse, they had rape. And when they go through that, it's a little bit harder for them to want to really initiate and trust to have sex with you. And it goes back to when you're dating a woman and you're in a serious relationship. It's like, hey, if things are going good and you're having sex with her throughout that time, and it comes time for marriage, I mean, you obviously already had that experience of having sex with her, so it shouldn't be an issue. But the thing is, when she doesn't want sex when you're dating, and she acts shy or she acts scared or nervous, or she just makes up excuses, sometimes it is because they may have had certain trauma that happened to them before, where they don't feel comfortable, they don't feel confident. Maybe they have low self-esteem, maybe they feel insecure about their body, and so they don't want to be vulnerable with you because they have went through a traumatic experience that it kind of blocks that off for them. And that's something that you got to talk to her about maybe get therapy, maybe go to a sex therapist and figure that out. But that is one case. Now, it's not all women. Let's just be honest. A lot of women don't go through that, but there are women that do go through that, and it's important that you understand that if a woman, um, you know, acts a certain way, and you're trying to figure out like, well, she is interested in me. She doesn't. What you call it now that she doesn't ghost me, but I noticed that she doesn't initiate sex. When we talk about sex, she kind of seems kind of hesitant. Sometimes she's not playing games. Sometimes it literally is because she may experience something that, was traumatic, and that's something that, may need to be worked on. But anyway, going back to the thing I was going to say earlier is that when a woman uses sex as a tool, she uses it as a weapon, a bargaining chip, you have to understand that you should never ever play into that. And what I mean by that is the moment a woman tries to do that, you need to nip it in the bud and just let her know that, hey, sex is for you and me. I'm giving you pleasure, you give me pleasure. But when it comes to the point where you're trying to like deny me sex because I want it, or you're trying to say that you're not in the mood, or just all these excuses, and she's not trying to do anything with you, or like, oh, well, if you don't do this, I'm not gonna give you sex. You have to understand that, that's a huge red flag. But what the mentality that you should have is that you are the prize and you are the opportunity. And what I mean by that, I want you to listen closely, is that if it's difficult for some women to have orgasms and to really enjoy sex, you're the man that's going to be able to help her enjoy that and help her to really have a good time with you sexually. But it's important that one, you understand foreplay, you understand how to give foreplay, you understand how to really give her great sex, because once you understand those things, you understand like, okay, why the fuck, if I as a man am able to please a woman sexually and I'm able to provide her with orgasms and all these other things, why would you just understand me? Why would you be so anxious and so happy to have sex, right? Because you have something to offer. So if you have something to offer, you're not going to try to just sleep with every woman. You're not going to really be so adamant about the sex, because here's the thing, and I want you to understand this, and this kind of goes a little bit more, I want to say, street level, but you have to understand when it comes to like simps, right? Simps are the men that makes different mistakes, and they think about sex all the time, but they think about sex as a point of what can they get out of it. But also, those are the type of men that will do any and everything that they can in their power to get sex as quickly as possible. Now, when you do that, the woman views you as somebody that does not have any value, because why would you be wanting to have sex as quickly and as fast as possible with a woman when you're the opportunity, you're the prize, right? So that's very important, is you have to really, no matter what, you have to think of yourself as, okay, yeah, I can have sex with a woman. Yeah, I may want it, I may desire it, but this is also an opportunity for her, because one, it's the foreplay, it's the sex, it's the afterplay, it's all those things that she can't just get with a toy. It's not just the orgasm. Trust me, it's way more shit. And when you understand that, then you'll start to see the situations with women differently. You'll start to see the situation with your wife differently. If she's withholding sex, hey, don't beg for it. Don't cry. Don't pout. Let her know what it is. But at the same time, when you're doing what you need to do, she will see you as valuable. She will see you as a man that she wants, that she desires, that she's attracted to. But when you fall into the trap of sex is not for women, when you fall into the trap of what they put on the media, movies, all this negative connotation that sex is just for men and sex is bad, sex is dirty, this, and that. When you fall into that belief, and you fall into that belief that you need to put sex on a pedestal, you'll always get played by a woman no matter what. If you're married or if you're dating, it doesn't matter what. But you have to remember that no matter what situation you're in, whether you're dating, in a relationship, or marriage, you got to understand that sex is not important. Earlier, I said sex was important to men. Yeah, it is important, but this is what I'm trying to say. We have testosterone. We want to procreate, and we love sex with the woman that is respectful, and we love sex with the woman that reciprocates. But also, we love sex when it's on our term. But if it's on the woman's term, then guess what? No, it needs to be on my terms, because I'm not going to go that left field into it, but I just want to say that when you're with a woman, the best way to really understand how to, not necessarily say have control over a woman, but the best way to know that a woman isn't going to deny you sex is, one, you have to make sure that you have her mind, right? You have to have her mind, you have to have her heart, and you have her body. And later on, get this: if you have her heart, her mind, her body, which is sex, guess what? She will give you love, admiration, respect, all those things. But if you don't have any of that and she just gives you the body, then you don't have anything else. If she just gives you sex, I mean, that's easy, that's simple. Not every man can get a woman's mind and heart and her soul, right? But when you have her mind, when you have her heart, guess what? Sex comes with that. So if you're not getting the sex from her, you have to question, do you even have her mind? Do you have her heart? Does she desire you? Does she think about you? If she's not thinking about you, she's not desiring you in a positive aspect, then more than likely she's not going to give you sex. That's just what it is. But leave you with this. I just want to say, like I said earlier, it's all about just knowing your woman, knowing yourself, and actually being able to not put pussy or sex on a pedestal, to actually know how to give sex correctly, how to actually please a woman. But to understand, some women, they do it because they want to use it as a bargaining chip. That's why they deny it. Or you don't know what you're doing, or they have those traumatic experiences they had before and they aren't comfortable with having sex. And there's one last thing I want to leave you with, and this is very important. This is something that I talked about with my wife, because not to go too deep into it, but she was in the field when it comes to therapy and marriage and stuff like that. But here's the thing: some women keep themselves from having orgasms. Some women keep themselves from actually enjoying sex because they're telling themselves all these things in their mind that prevents them from actually enjoying it. And when you do that, when women do that, like, oh, does he really like me? Does he think I'm overweight? Does he think I'm skinny? Does he this, and that? Whenever she thinks about anything negative when it comes to sex, or when it comes to interaction with you, when it comes to sex, guess what? That's going to stop her from reaching orgasm. Yes, as men, we can do our thing, but at the end of the day, a woman should be able to know her body well enough, to be comfortable well enough, to be able to enjoy sex, because they get something out of it as well. You have to make sure you understand that. A woman will get something out of it as well, as long as she's what? She's relaxed, her mind is clear, and you're able to perform to provide the other link when it comes to her having orgasms and actually enjoying it. And one last thing I want to say is not just about orgasms. Understand, this is not just about that. But what was I going to say? Orgasms. Oh, that's the other thing too. This is something to keep in mind. It's a lot harder for a woman to have an orgasm than it is for a man. And when you understand that it's a lot harder for a woman to have an orgasm than it is for a man, you'll understand not to put sex or the woman on a pedestal. Because if you want to ejaculate, you want to have an orgasm, guess what? So many ways to do it. But when it comes to a woman, yeah, there are ways to do it, but it's a lot harder. And when it is a lot harder for her, if she's not with the right man, that means that she will pretty much put every man in that category if they don't know what they're doing. And so that's why I said earlier, it's important to actually know what you're doing, because when you know what you're doing, you have her mind, you have her heart, you have her body, you're able to perform well, you're able to give her orgasms, you're able to do the foreplay, afterplay, when you have all that, man, you'll see that you're the opportunity. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but that's what you have to understand. And if you're new to this and you just jumped on here, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you watch this live over again, because I said some key things in here that may have went over your head, maybe not. But listen to this, meditate on it, apply it. And if you have any questions, make sure you go to the link in the description and book a 45-minute session. What that's going to do is really help you and allow you to get clear on where you're stuck at in your relationship or your marriage, and figure out how to move forward. Because a lot of guys, sometimes it's that mental block of what to say when it comes to what you want in a relationship or your marriage. Sometimes it's that fear. Sometimes you just don't know how to say things, or sometimes you know exactly what to do, you just don't know how to do it moving forward. So that's what that's for. But other than that, I'm going to read these comments. I'm going to get out of here. And just give me a thumbs up. Send this to a guy that you think may really benefit from this video. But that's what it's it. That's what it is, man. That's all it is. So let me see. See. What's up? What's up? No Diddy. No gay. Give me. Let's see. Ethiopia. Hey, what's going on? I am a complete man. That's what's up. All right, well, I'm about to jump up out of here. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you comment. Make sure you hit that link if you need to jump on a call with me to help you get clear on where you're at and move you forward. Other than that, it's been a great live. I will talk to you later.